about furbolgs, but you've probably never met a furbolg.
Okay, but I know it's not kill on sight, the Mr.
Yeah.
Furball. Okay,
Like he
good.
even could anyway.
Well, you say that, but
Yeah.
Like he even could.
When can we test said theory?
yeah, he might be able to kill you in one round. Or
Nah.
he has the archer kit.
I shoot
Nah.
1,000,000 times a second, is what it says.
Yeah, verbatim. I'm pretty sure. Okay, so
my
you've.
beard would be as tall as your character, actually.
I'm just going to do a roll call quickly. Make sure I reset. So, Tom.
Yeah.
I should be doing names. Sorry. So Sterling. Yeah.
All right.
Bongo.
See.
Matteo.
Here.
And long name Mr. Fancy Pants.
I am Jean
new
Declare
Pual.
Jacuz, aesthetic and professional artist.
The new Pual.
You shall refer to me as my first and only name. I have not even gotten to my hard name yet. I am Jean Declare Jacques Jokogdak Niha.
So it would just be pronounced Jax.
If you do not
Right.
refer to my full
Jacques.
name, you insult me as a noble.
Right, well,
And you
prepare to
better
be
remember
told.
it too. Yeah, so you guys have all heard about what's happened at Harold's farm in one way or another, basically, and he's sent out the word saying, "Hey, I need help," or you found out through whatever means. And so you kind of arrived in the town. Or you lived in the village or whatever, and yeah, that's where it starts off. You just know he's somewhere in the village, and there's a bar that you can see this person standing in front of. I suppose we'll do descriptions and introductions as well.
Okay,
Anyone that wants to go first?
just as an assumption, I'm the one standing in front of the bar.
Yes.
Is it this building? Yes. Okay, so you see, so I'm playing Sterling Hallerfield, who's standing in front of the bar. He's a 5'8" half elf. You can see his skin; it's slightly grayish. He's got kind of darkish blue eyes, shoulder length black hair. But the main thing you notice is he has a really, really fine bow on his shoulder. And he's kind of kitted out, so he's wearing full armor. He has a sword sheath, but he looks much younger than you'd expect. So he looks more or less still like a kid, but he's kind of standing there leaning against the wall of the bar.
Paul.
You just I need to figure out where would Harold the farmer be? 'Cause that's
You don't
where I'm
know.
from.
You just know he's somewhere in the village.
So walking up this path, you see a very, very tall, stocky man, as in taller probably than the buildings he's walking past.
No, you're not that tall.
It could be if it's a bungalow.
Well, the bar is actually a bungalow, so maybe.
I'm taller than it then. You can see that he has a very long ginger beard and hair, with a noticeably large mustache as well to go along with the beard. He's wearing fur-based clothing, as if he was still quite up, as if he just came from somewhere really cold, almost. He also has blue eyes and a very, very large, almost comically so nose. That's about as much as I've got.
Okay. Matthew.
Mateo is human. He has like long brown hair. He's dressed like a wild man. He has a long brown robe with a hood. The hood is down right now, so you can see his long flowing hair blowing in the wind. I'll just describe his appearance. So Mateo is quite the male specimen. Not particularly muscular, though he is quite handsome. He has an air of wisdom about him which is quite uncommon to men as young as he. He dresses in a hooded brown robe which is well kept. His grooming is very rustic, though he stays clean shaven. He keeps his hair long and wild. It flows freely in the wind. He's carrying a wooden medium shield, and wrapped around his right wrist and palm is a sling. And he has a rather bulky looking pouch with rock-shaped bulges.
What about his pouch? Okay. And Jean.
Jean Declare Jacques stands 6'2". He's got slick white blonde hair that flows way back across his head. He's got kind of white set eyes. He wears long flowing silks under the traveling cloak that's wrapped around his shoulders. Right, his face is very gaunt. Right, his ears are kind of pointed, but he's one of the most handsome men you've ever seen on the trails. He carries a small bronze cane in his left hand, right, and in his right, he has it resting on the hilt of a small, short sword. Along his belt, you see several pouches filled to the brim, almost overflowing with marbles, cattle trops, oil flasks, and snap traps. He wears a small monocle, and he seems to strut around with a noble-ish air, almost pretentious. His head tilted up, and his eyes looking down at the world.
So we basically got like a bunch of
a bunch of like wild men and like one
pants.
noble guy. You're like a fuck.
Well, we don't know what Rory's making yet.
We don't. And Nuxel isn't here, so I didn't.
Yeah. So like, I think you guys are gonna be my boys, and I'm gonna do all the talking. Right? And I'm like, do I need my boys to break something? Have you not gotten the message yet?
Sturvin, you probably recognize Mateo, but you can't quite place him.
Okay.
I would say the opposite is probably true as well. You two have probably seen each other, but not spoken before.
Oh.
Seeing as they've kind of culminated kind of nearish the square, I'm just gonna kind of make myself known, step forwards, mainly walking towards Matteo, and says, have we met before? I feel like I know you.
I have heard of a ranger in these parts. Forgive me for the way I speak. I have only recently learned the language of the people.
Well, your language is quite good. I guess if we haven't met, I'm Sturvin. Nice to meet you. I'm going to be a little bit forward here, but a man's farm's been overrun, and he needs help to take it back. Is that something you'd be interested in? There's a reward, of course.
That sounds fine. Where do we go?
So we'll need to head to his farm, which is... Which direction from here, mister?
Well, he should know the way, right?
I do know the way. I have worked on this farm before. Some years ago when I was a boy. As I crept out of the wood, I was looking for a mate. But alas, I never found one. But I did find a farm. And on this farm I worked. And the old man there, Harold, he called himself, he taught me to speak the language of the man. The language which I speak now.
I'm sorry, but your character's been ruined for me by what I just realised your voice sounds pretty similar to for him.
He's Zorro.
To who?
No, to me, he just sounds like Puss in Boots.
Oh. Well, Puss in Boots is basically it's the
I know,
classic
it's just...
charismatic
It's the actor.
guy.
It's the
Yeah.
actor. Yeah.
I know. It's just that's where my
It's
mind
perfect.
went
I
to
think it's
first.
perfect. I think it's perfect for the character.
It is perfect, but but my was thinking about just a cat in boots talk.
I think you should watch more movies.
Yeah.
Because that guy's been in a lot more stuff than just.
I know.
Puss in
I've
Boots,
seen
yeah.
him in a lot more movies. It's just my mind went to Puss in Boots first.
Yeah, but there's also, you know, in what's it called, Game of Thrones, the Spanish guy that gets his head crushed by the mountain. That guy talks the same way. The
Oberyn Martell.
The Dornish people are basically Spaniards.
If anything, Puss in Boots is a subversion of the character. But yeah.
I would probably be further up the road actually during that.
I mean, you might have overheard them talking even, or.
So,
Yeah, so-
Mr. Sturvin, when do we leave for the Harrow's farm?
I don't feel like we can handle this alone. Like, I'm not like, too sure of what's up there. I've heard it might be Quaggoth, but I don't think the two of us will be enough. Should I wait to see if anyone else comes to potentially help out? I'll ask around.
What of this gentleman over here with the monocle? He looks like
Yes,
we could.
I am Jean de Gacquis, and I have
sir.
heard you are in need of a small partnership for a small job.
Oh yes, I
Uh-huh.
think so. Are you an
Ah,
adventurer
you
like
are.
us?
Well, you say the word, and I say how high to jump. What is this job you speak of? And how may me and Jean looks around really hastily, look around at the all the town, turns around to see this really big guy, and my buddy. How can me and my buddy be of any assistance today?
Also, Mr. Sturvin, there is a giant over there.
Yeah, he is my friend.
When he just says when Jean goes up, I'm gonna just do that to annoy you. When Jean goes up to Bonnie and says, "My pal here," Bonnie just looks down at him and says, "Who are you?"
Such a kidder, such a kidder. So yes, we have a work. What is job? Tell me job.
I'll step forward. So the job is rather simple. There's this gentleman's farm. Harold, as Matthew said, has been taken over by some Quaggoths. They're normally harmless, so I'm not really sure what they're doing there, but we need to take it back, and obviously there's a reward in it.
I am very worried about my friend Harold. He was like a father to me when I was in my younger days, when the only language I could speak was the language of the wolves, but he taught me the language of men.
Well, Harold's safe. He's in the village, so it's just getting his farm back, getting his livelihood back.
May
That's
we
what's
speak?
important.
May we speak to Harold before we leave? I wish to see him. It has been many years, many moons.
Well, if you'd like, he's through here, and I'll walk towards the bar and push the door open.
Am I gonna fit through the door?
No.
You'll have to wait outside.
No, you could probably squeeze through, but you'd have to like duck the whole time.
Perhaps, my friend, I could order you drinks from the bar and bring them to you as you stick your head through the door.
Maybe you could open a window and he can rest on the windowsill.
I'd much rather like to speak to this Harold myself. If there's a window here, it's fine. If there's like a window here or somewhere, it's fine. I can speak through the window.
So yeah, the bar seems to be mostly empty, but you guys do see this kind of older looking gentleman who's sort of maybe late 50s, early 60s. He's wearing like a wide brimmed hat, and he's got quite a big bushy brown beard, and he's holding a walking stick. He seems like strong, like he's lived his whole life doing hard labor, but he's old now, so he's still looking a bit frail. And sitting next to him is a woman of a similar age. And when Matteo walks in, Harold suddenly gets to his feet and he goes, "Oh boy, I never thought I'd see you again. Been years."
Mr. Harold, it is such a pleasure to see you again. My surrogate father many years ago. You have taught me this language of men. To you I owe so much.
No, it was no thing. Any right thinking man would have done the same thing. I'm sorry you have to see me like this, cast out of my own home by beasts. We're being forced to stay in the inn across the road.
Ah.
Most of all, I'm just worried about my necklace.
Oh.
Is there a window that I could just peek through instead?
My uncle Elwin. Yeah, you can lean into the window, sure.
Okay.
I inherited it from my great uncle Elwin, a wizard of some renown, and it's worth more than the entire farm.
Oh my. I wonder what has forced these Quaggas to come down from the mountain.
Bonnie speaking through the window.
I don't know. They just suddenly turned up. We had to leave in a hurry. I, took the kids and my wife here, and he kind of gestures to the woman sitting next to him. Says, we got out of there as fast as we could. They were very aggressive.
Huh. Perhaps we should drive them back to where they come from.
It says, I don't care as long as I get my necklace back.
Can I just see what picture of what these creatures look like, though, Oscar? I don't actually know what they are.
You sent one to me not long ago.
Yeah, that's where I found it. So there's a picture of everybody. That's what they look like. And they're about 7 feet tall, so they're quite big.
Not big enough.
So he says, I'm willing to give 200 gold to each of you, should my necklace be returned.
Ah. Thank you so much for the reward.
That is a sizable sum.
What do you say, Jean Declaire?
200 gold for each of us? This necklace is quite valuable then.
He says, well, my uncle told me it was magic, but mostly it's just, sentimental.
Bonnie's
the
eyes
only
go.
thing I have left of him.
You need a necklace, and Jean Declaire, on my honor, will get you a necklace.
When he says it's magical, Bonnie's eyes squint slightly. But...
and I suppose we'll leave it there because other people are going to turn up, and I want them to turn up before you guys leave, I suppose. But everybody has an idea of everybody else's character. I'd like to do more, but I don't know.
So I'm liking that I'm basically already Jean's subordinate. Just
No. Partner. Do not worry, my dear friend. We are partners in crime. I handle the talking, and you do the walking.
I suppose Harold will say, well, how are you guys going to, deal with this then? What's the plan?
I point out the window.
This Verbog is very scary.
He's like right behind you. You can probably feel his breath on your back.
I feel you breathing.
Probably feel my beard rubbing the back of your neck almost. I think I have. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, scale-wise, his beard is like the length of your whole body, right?
Yes.
5-foot beard.
If only I roll a gnome.
I could probably smuggle a small person. In
Yeah,
my
exactly.
beard.
Exactly. I would make like weave your beard into a small chair and run a gnome wizard out of it.
Yeah, and we'll leave it there until next time, I guess.
Nice.
Okay.
Just because there's not